What is up, culés? You are now watching FC Barcelona Central. I am your host, Pedro, also known as Urrutia on Instagram. And the news in Barcelona keeps coming in. I got some updates on our transfers in and out, starting with the official confirmation of Marcus Rashford's arrival in the as a Blaugrana player. But that is not all. The club is at work on some key contract renewal for some of our most vital players, and we'll dive into who's staying in this team that's going to go to the Asia tour for Hansi Flick. This episode is packed with an exclusive insight into the Barcelona strategic move, so let's dive right into it. Guys, so Marcus Rashford is a happy man. He's on the cusp of achieving his ambition of playing for Barcelona, despite knowing that the Catalan club has other players in the short list to reinforce the attack this summer. That is the ones of Nico Williams and Luis Diaz. And he knew that he was not the top choice, but he never lost hope. And now his dream is almost a reality. The last 48 hours have been intense and have been joyful for him. And the rest of the week is just to be as packed. Last Saturday, all parties agreed on the operation. Manchester United gave the green light for his loan with a purchase option. Sunday, he took a private flight to Barcelona, and yesterday he met with Hansi Flick and Deco and visited all the facilities at Ciudad Esportiva Joan Gamper to undergo his usual pre-signing medical checkup. Now, remember, he had, however, already spoke to both coach and sporting director previously. Now, today, Marcus Rashford will meet his new teammates, providing all the documentation in order and formalities to be concluded. The Blaugrana squad had a double training session. They're going to be training around 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. The English winger is expected to participate in both sessions, even though his incorporation won't be official and is officially announced yet. For now, it is only unofficial, but no parties expect any problems with the final procedures. The club intention is to hold his official presentation on Wednesday afternoon at Spotify Camp Nou facilities, possibly at the store or the auditorium. However, nothing is finalized or confirmed regarding the exact time or location, as the club is still working on the details. The idea is that it will be briefly addressed to the media after posing for some signing with President Joan Laporta. Then on Thursday, the English international will depart with the rest of the Blaugrana team for the Asia tour that will take the players to Japan and Korea. During this tour, they will play 3 friendly matches on July 27th, July 31st, and August 4th, actually. Remember, this is a monumental week for Marcus Rashford and FC Barcelona as we officially integrate our top talent into the squad and prepare for a challenging season ahead. So, Barca will have gone from Ansu Fati and Pau Victor, who might leave very soon as wing alternative, to Marcus Rashford and Ronnie Bargi, who is yet to showcase his game in front of the Blaugrana players. We predict that the partnership between the English forward and the German coach could be very successful. Flick has known how to get the best version of the players, of several players, and remember last season and the season before, remember Frankie de Jong, Rafinha, and Ferran Torres, just to name a few. The motivation with which the former Manchester United forward will arrive, combined with Hansi Flick's discipline and tactical playbook, could bring him back to the best player he was when he captivated the Old Trafford during the 2022-2023 season, where he scored 30 goals. So without a doubt, he's self-sufficient to generate goals, and his versatility and verticality he offers is a perfect fit for this Flick's Barca. His versatility and dribbling makes him a guaranteed resource, and it will also go to help Rafinha, who played over 4,500 minutes last season. Now, like I said before, the news in Barcelona do not stop, and the sporting directorate led by Deco is not only focusing in new signings, but also in crucial contract renewals before the season begins. On July 7th, FC Barcelona made the official renewal of goalkeeper Chechny for 2 seasons. The poll is still pending the financial fair play, and some departures need to be finalized for him to register him in La Liga, something that Barca will achieve without problem before the start of the championship on August 3rd, 16 against Mallorca. But the goalkeeper renewal is not the only one that the sporting directorate would like to finalize soon. The player whose contract expires on June 30th, 2026 should be the ones that should be finalized sooner rather than later, and those are the ones from Frankie de Jong and Eric Garcia. For Frankie de Jong, who has gone from being questioned to indispensable in a regular to Hansi Flick's squad, he's receiving a renewal offer from Barcelona for 3 seasons some time ago. But de Jong, who was annoyed with the previous sporting director's direction, now only thinks of continuing with Barcelona, and his continuity is taken for granted. Everything is pending because of a personal matter. As President Joan Laporta himself explained at a time, is his disassociation with his lifelong agent. This is about to be definite. Pretty much he cut tie with his former agent. Once he's achieved a new agent, or I don't know how those negotiations are going, he will sign with Barcelona when he has this new agent. His renewal is very important to the club, and he will play in Barca's favor, improving this financial fair play purposes. Now, for Eric Garcia, who is also sure of a continuity with Barcelona for a few more years, the center back has 1 more year left on his contract and hopes to sign a new deal sooner rather than later, after playing on a loan for Girona on the 2024 season. He was important for Hansi Flick last season. His departure was considered both in the summer and the winter, but the German coach did not want him to move. So because the center back versatility gave him many minutes to play both his natural position and also play as a defensive midfielder or right back. He is now a non-transferable for Flick, who pretty much asked for him to be renewed. So, and also the player wants to do so. While it's not an urgent matter as the previous two, the renewal of Jules Koundé should also happen before the end of the year. The Frenchman, who has a contract until June 30th, 2027, but his excellent performance calls for an improvement and extension to his contract, considering he has always been set out for some big major club in England. The Blaugrana Sporting Directorate and the defender's agent have held various meetings, with the latest one being this past Monday. An agreement seems to be very close, although some aspects is still to be polished for a new meetings in the future. The renewal, according to Barcelona, will happen, as the player has always wanted to stay in the club since he chose this direction in 2022, rejecting some important offers from Europe, and other places in Europe. The unknown is when it will be signed, and it all depends in the Barcelona financial fair play. This renewal is absolutely vital for the long-term stability of our club. Moving on to the preseason tour, our first team returns to work this Tuesday at Ciudad Deportiva for a double session, but Hansi Flick will no longer count with 3 Barca Athletic players he had under his command during the first week of training. As announced by the club, young players Jan Virgil, Landry Farré, and Juan Hernandez have rejoined to start the preseason with Barcelona B, and will stay with the new Barcelona B coach Juliano Belletti, which is the reserve team. However, the players' name will continue to be on the first team, will be Guillermo Fernandez, Tony Fernandez, Jofre Torrens, and Dro Fernandez. We have 3 Fernandez. Oh my God, how confusing this is. And also the new signing, Ronnie Bargi. These players are making a very good impression on Flick and are shaping up to be the chosen ones to join the expedition of the Asia Tour. It is also worth remembering that the midfielder Ibrahim Diarra suffered a muscle tear in his right leg during Saturday training, and has also been ruled out because of this trip to Asia. The news of this, we know that he won't go, but this is a huge opportunity for these young players. And I'm sorry for the guys who got hurt. Ibrahim Diarra and the other guys will most likely get a big shot pretty soon, sooner rather than later. But now, guys, there is a final piece of news that I want to talk about, is the economic situation of FC Barcelona. As you know, it continues to improve, but it's still not ideal, at least concerning the financial fair play. Barcelona has cash, and it was clear a few weeks ago when we tried everything and we got everything ready to pay for Nico Williams' release clause. But we're still working to reach the famous and very annoying 1-1 rule, something that we expect to achieve in August. After that, we'll need to generate some space in our salary mass to register new addition, and that's the harder part. Hansi Flick is fully aware of the situation and understands it perfectly. He knows that he'll likely have a few changes to the squad that won the treble last season, a group that which he is pretty much satisfied. The sporting directorate has managed to close the signing of Joan Garcia and now Marcus Rashford in record time with relatively low investment, just over 26 million in transfer, and much more affordable than expected, to be honest. The move for Joan Garcia was a market opportunity that truly couldn't be missed, accelerating the renovation at the goalkeeping position ahead of schedule. Deco and Flick agreed to advance his arrival with the lightning transfer by paying his release clause, a strategic move to solve the goalkeeping situation for years to come. The next objective was a little bit more complicated. As you know, we tried to sign Nico Williams, but he decided to stay with Atletico Bilbao, and we explore the signing of Luis Diaz. We know that was Deco's preferred choice, but the Colombia definitely wanted to come, and Liverpool's stance in Bayern's emergence made his signing impossible. The club wasn't willing to pay more than 70 million euros in fixed and fair rails and some of the stuff, but the club withdrew. Barcelona was like, yeah, no, thank you. And we went for Marcus Rashford. The Manchester United player option was the most affordable, which can leave some room for further investments in the remaining weeks of the market. The club calculates that it will be able to register both Rashford and Joan Garcia as well as the renewals agreed this summer without problems. Now, Ter Stegen's long-term injury will be able to help this situation, but Barca believe that they will enter this 1-1 rule in the first week of August, and from there, potential sales will play an important role. For Flick and the sporting directorate, we have a surplus of center backs and midfielders, and there may be an interesting proposal from them. So some decisions have to be made. The German coach would like to complete the squad with two fullbacks, preferably on the left back, to serve as an emergence of Joffrey Torres, who they want to develop, but he's still too young, still too raw, and obviously there's no doubt that he will be the future center back of this club. The possibility of bringing Alejandro Grimaldo from Bayer Leverkusen is still on the table, but Barca has only made an initial approach without any further action. On the right side, we have the option that we heard rumor of Denzel Dumfries with a 25 million release clause that expires in 10 days. The Dutch international is highly liked for his versatility. He's the type of wingback who can cover both flanks, but some departures are needed for this. Now, time is running out and things are happening fast after Rashford's arrival. Guys, we are almost like a little more than a week away until August, and first of all, we need to see what happens in the Asia tour. And that's a wrap for another packed episode, guys, from the confirmed signing of Marcus Rashford and to bring some heat to our attack, to the critical contract renewals of Frankie de Jong, Eric Garcia, and Koundé, to the strategic decision for the La Masia Tour squad. This is a crucial update for this episode. I want to know, what are your thoughts on the Rashford arrival? What do you think is the impact he's going to give us? Which renewal are you most excited about, and who do you think will manage to sign as a fullback before the preseason close? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. And for all the breaking news, latest updates, and analysis, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this wonderful channel, hit the notification bell, and don't miss a single beat. Until next time, and Visca Barça.